So, hello guys, my name is Marth, finally putting a face to the name, and this is my friend.
Yeah, hi. My name is Charles. You might better know me as Chaiverson, the host of One Sip Drink Reviews on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Oh, okay. Well, nice to meet you, Charles.
We've met
Yeah,
already, but
yeah.
yeah.
So, how's your day? How's your day been, Charles? Like, in terms of everything, what's going on with your life currently?
uh, Pretty solid day overall. Let's see, I went to 2 classes today. I guess for the sake of the interview, I'll say I'm a sophomore at Purdue studying creative writing, professional writing, and film and video production. So, yeah, had 2 classes today. Not bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my name is Marth, like I said before, and I am a freshman in cellular and molecular developmental bio. I know it's a damn mouthful, but oh well. Yeah, my week's been kind of rough actually, just me studying for chemistry and just trying to get by as a freshman. Yeah, just yeah. So, Charles, the main reason I'm here today is to ask this one question. Why did you start Chaiverson Review, and how much do you enjoy it?
Okay. I enjoy it a lot, first of all. But to get to the first part of your question, it wasn't my idea. I can't remember if you were there or not when the idea was first created, but it was at a dinner with some friends, and they've specifically requested I don't mention their names, but uh, two of them sort of came up with this idea together, and one of them in particular, he was like, you know what you should do? You should make a video of just you taking one sip of tea and reviewing it based on that. And I was like, no, that's so stupid. I did it anyway because it took no time at all. We just grabbed some free tea packets from Wiley Dining Court, and I went back to my room, made 3 of them back to back because why not? It took like 5 minutes to knock them all out. And then I get a text like 10 minutes later from the other guy, and he's like, dude, we're already at 500 views with the first video on TikTok. I was like, what? That's crazy. But yeah, then we started uploading them to Instagram and YouTube, got similar results. They haven't all seen that same like immediate success, but we just had our first video cross 1,000 views, and it did that in under 24 hours. Sorry, it was the first video to cross 1,000 views on YouTube. We already did that on Instagram twice, I think, but still, yeah, amazing.
So for the viewers, what video was it again?
That would what one was that? It was the one that came out yesterday, and I'm already forgetting. The thing is, we record so many at once. It's like it was the Ramune.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the Ramune, I was really shocked that one took off. But it is a unique drink, so it makes sense. Yeah.
No, yeah. The Ramune video was by far one of my favorite videos. The noises you made, that being intentional or not, was genuinely my favorite part.
It was not intentional. That's another thing. Like, I'd say about somewhere between 70 and 90% of the videos are improvised. Or, like, 70 to 90% of, like, what you see in the videos are improvised. Like, it's all one take. I never do multiple takes. I've done multiple takes of, like, stuff that's happened before I take a drink if something goes disastrously bad. But once you see me take the drink, that is genuinely my first sip of that drink on that day. And you get my genuine reaction.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wholesome, yet pretty funny, which adds to your comedy and makes like my reason for watching you like really special. I would say you're probably my favorite drink reviewer at the moment.
Oh, thanks. I don't think there's many of us out there.
No, but yeah. So about the future of your channel, like I've been looking at your channel, you've been getting around like 600 to 800 views around like each short and each video especially, and it seems like it's heading in a big direction, big step. What would you say about this, Charles?
I don't know. I mean, I think the growth I think there's still a lot of slow growth ahead of us, but I think there is growth going on. Like, the fact that we got to over 1,000 views in under 24 hours is completely mind-blowing to me. I know that's not even nearly as much as, like, the real popular YouTubers, but, like, hey, that's still a lot of people. Like, that is fine by me. So, I mean, as long as we keep seeing numbers like that, and they can continue to go up gradually, that's awesome. That's really all I want. And the thing is, it's like, it takes a minute out of my day to do these. It's like, I don't really care that much if we aren't seeing any rapid growth and we're not getting immediate returns on this.
But at least you're having fun while doing it. And I can see it in your videos.
Yeah, like, even though it wasn't my idea originally, like, I have grown sort of a passion for it in a weird way, and it's given me the chance to try some things that I probably would not have tried otherwise.
It makes sense. Like, me personally, like, half the drinks you've put on there, it's like I was relatively not interested in it beforehand, but then after seeing my favorite YouTuber Chaiverson try them, I'm like, shit, I might have to try them out. And I have a couple of them, like Ramune recently. I really like it too, so it's
awesome.
So also, when it comes to your channel and everything, you're becoming more popular among Purdue students. How is that popularity hitting you?
It doesn't really affect much in my day-to-day life. The one thing I will say is that occasionally someone will come up to me and be like, wait, are you Chaiverson? Or, like, they'll just say, like, oh, I love your drink reviews. One time, someone literally ran to me across the street, like, as the crosswalk was going. And they were like, are you Chaiverson on TikTok? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I love your videos, man. And I happened to be carrying a box of donuts at the time. It's a long story how I got those donuts for free, but I didn't really want them at that point. And so I was just like, you want some donuts? And so I just gave that guy a whole box of donuts, basically, for himself. But yeah, it's been really cool to see the positive reception in person to people I've never met who enjoy my videos.
Like, does it weird you out at first, and then, like, you kind of get used to it, or is it just, like, something that just, like, hits you? It's like, oh, people know who I am, like, oh, I'm probably going to receive more and more attention going on in the future.
It's definitely something that weirds me out still, because it's like, it's not something that occurs on a regular enough basis that I'm, like, used to it. I'm not, like, famous, but it's like, when it does happen, it's like, it's infrequent enough that it is weird, but then it's also really cool, because it's like, wow, I made an impact in that person's life. Like, they care about what I'm doing, they see it and they're entertained by it, and that's why I do it.
Entertaining people, that's like the main reason why we're here, Charles. It's like I derive joy from entertaining people, like spreading positivity, spreading awareness, and it's just like, it's a nice thing to achieve, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of just my whole mission with this. Like, it would be nice if it grew to a point where I can make money, but it's like I said earlier, it's like, it takes no time out of my day basically to do it, and so it's like, just entertaining people is really fun.
No doubt about it. So, is there any, like, special milestone you're, like, willing to hit, or is there, like, any sort of celebration that you're planning to do when you hit a milestone, or is that not yet to be revealed?
I don't know. I haven't really given too much thought to it. I want, at the very least, I want this channel to keep going until my 21st birthday.
Ooh.
Because I have a plan for that video.
Alcoholic drinks, or?
Well, maybe. I have a plan. That's all I'll say. So that's the milestone I want to for sure hit. And whether or not I have a bunch more subscribers by then, or I'm getting tons more views by then, I don't know. But that's my personal goal, is to make videos for that long. And I think there are enough drinks out there that I can for that long.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Speaking of the drinks, what would be your most favorite drink out of all of them? Like, which one do you immediately think of when it comes to your channel? You're like, damn, this drink was so damn good. I wish I can, like, chug it more, like, drink more of it.
That's tricky. Okay, because the one I've enjoyed the most has not been released yet.
Oh.
I don't know when you're planning on releasing this video. So it actually might be out by the time you release this podcast, but it's coming out on Thursday, March 7th. So I'll just be vague about it for now. But if you're watching this after it came out, you can go see the video from Thursday, March 7th. Mm-hmm. It is a twist on a classic drink that I thought would just be sort of a gimmick. Mm-hmm. But it actually completely changes the drink in an unexpected way that makes it really good. And it's... I don't even know entirely how to describe it. It was just an amazing experience to drink it.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I think I told you about it earlier. I just don't want to reveal it to the populace before it comes out.
Yeah, I'm not going to reveal it to the populace, but, like, let's say this drink was kind of mediocre when it came out, and then, like, the company took it back and basically revamped the formula flavor to make it as good as Charles describes it.
You see, I actually didn't know until you told me earlier that it had previously been released and then revamped, which I think is interesting because it's a really good twist on this classic drink, and I can't wait for people to see it. What's fascinating about it is one thing I like to do in these videos, if it's not like a drink that's particularly special or anything, I like to spice it up a little bit with some humor. I had a joke planned for it that I just completely forgot to say because I was completely blown away by this drink. It really sometimes just speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. But I guess to answer your question with a drink I've already done that has been released, man, I think my favorite video would be the original Coke one.
Oh, yeah.
Just because that one was so fun to film. I don't actually like Coke that much in real life. But, you know, the whole joke of it, I think, was really fun to execute.
No, yeah. It was a really unique video, and to be honest, I sort of thought, like, of the idea. Like, I was like, okay, there's no way Charles could execute that on YouTube as flawlessly as you did, and it turned out to be a banger of a video, which I greatly admire and appreciate.
Thank you.
Yeah. In terms of everything overall, like for the audience, are you gonna branch out into like other video types? Like, are you gonna do like reaction content, or are you just gonna strictly keep it to just tasting drinks and everything?
I'm mostly keeping it to tasting drinks for now, unless I were to make another channel. This channel is going to be drink reviews. However, as you saw yesterday, Monday the March 4th, for people who are watching later, I came out with a sort of a satirical apology video. Yeah. So I think it's safe to say you'll see more stuff like that in the future.
Oh, okay.
There may or may not be some stuff like that that's already filmed that will be coming out in the near future. So stay tuned.
Oh, okay. In terms of apology video, was there a specific reason why you did it, or is it just like what was going? Like, I really want to ask, what was going on in your mind when you made the apology video?
You know, I don't think that one was my idea either. I mean, you know, the two guys who I started this channel with, it was one of them, I'm pretty sure, who came up with it. Or it could have been a different friend. I really can't remember, to be completely honest. But the thing with a lot of these videos is it really is such a collaborative process that goes into, like, these 30 seconds, or in the case of the apology video, the few minutes. Like, it was someone's idea, but then we all sort of like worked with it.
Yeah.
And then of course like the final product was pretty much improvised using our collective ideas. So yeah, it wasn't really my idea, but a bunch of us sort of put it together. And I guess, sorry, to answer your question more specifically, the idea was to make it sort of a parody of the classic YouTuber apology trope. Yeah, and we we threw in some other YouTube tropes in there, not just necessarily apology things, and it was really fun to put together.
Oh no, yeah, like watching it was like, oh, like it was like you were saying, it was like vastly different than your other like drink reviews, like the apology video, but it was really really funny, comedic, and it was like almost satirical in a way, making fun of other YouTuber apology videos, which is kind of like goofy. And to be honest, it's like half the video I was like, oh, okay, what's going on, what's happening? But then your enthusiasm, your like acting skills really shine through the apology video.
I was briefly a professional actor as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool when it comes to your apology video. Also, when it comes to your YouTube channel, are you planning to push more like shorter content such as reels, like Instagram, like reels, or like YouTube reels, or are you planning to like make like more like longer form content, like with like 2-3 minute videos, or
the apology was our first long form content. I don't think we're going to do much of that going forward. Like, if we have a good idea like we did with the apology, I think we'll definitely do it if we can, like, integrate it into the lore of the channel. But, yeah, I think in general we're going to stick with short-form content just because I think that's where we really shine. Like, we did one video earlier on, which, of course, was still just a few weeks ago, but... Yeah. Where it was a review of Folgers Decaf Instant Coffee. I'm not really that proud of that one because it was too long. It was only like a minute and a half, but it was too long. It really was not that entertaining. I think for the one sip reviews, you really got to keep it under a minute in order to keep the engagement and to just... I don't know. You're stretching it to make it longer. It's one sip, you know?
Yeah, there's nothing much else you could really do. Like 1 or 2 funny clips, that's it. But that barely alone constitutes like 30-40 seconds.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, for most of them, it's like, like you said, there's nothing really to do after 30 or 40 seconds. It's only very occasionally where I'll see I'm bumping up against the minute mark, and I'm like, okay, I gotta wrap this up because nobody wants to watch something that's over a minute. Like, YouTube Shorts actually cuts you off after a minute. So I think TikTok and Reels, it can be over a minute, but YouTube Shorts has to be under.
Oh, yeah. Because that's what's mostly pushed through the YouTube algorithm, per se, and that's, like, what many people see is, like, shorts and, like, short-form content. But, like, if you want to try and make revenue, like, the longer-form content is, like, what you need to achieve.
Yeah.
But what you like to do and, like, what you're doing right now, I think short-form content is honestly the best way to go ahead with your channel. And, yeah.
Well, it's the best thing for me personally right now, as well, because, you know, it allows me to not have to think about it too much, and as much as I love doing this, I am a full-time student. I am an RA, and I need to be focusing on those things first. I don't want this to become a thing where I have to be devoting even just 1 hour or more of my day to it.
Yeah.
So, doing short-form content with minimal to no editing, I must add, allows me to, focus on other areas of my life.
No, yeah, that perfectly makes sense. So, So every time I look at your comments for like your reels, like I see a bunch of hearts by you. Like you obviously read your comments. What do you think about them? They seem like unique and funny. Like,
oh my gosh, those YouTube comments are something else. They make my day. They really do. It means a lot when people comment on the videos, because when you see the viewership numbers, it tells you how many people are seeing it, I guess, like even if they're not watching it all the way through. But when you see the comments, that shows you that there are people who are really engaging with the content in a more meaningful way, even if it is people who are saying weird sexually charged things.
Yeah.
It is really weird and creepy, to be honest, but it also means a lot.
Yeah, people take their time out of their way to make those comments, which is kind of goofy, but at the same time, it means a lot to you.
Yeah.
And in regards to your thumbnails, I know you don't make them, but like
I've made a few of them.
Yeah. Not a lot of them, but like what do you think about your thumbnails and everything?
I love them. The friend of mine who had the idea for the channel makes most of them, and I think he does a phenomenal job. I have had to tell him a few times, let's rein it back in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he goes a little crazy with them, but no, I think they're phenomenal. I think they do a great job of piquing people's interest in wanting to click on the videos. It's just a shame that on YouTube you can't upload thumbnails to shorts yet, so they only show up on Instagram and TikTok, but it is what it is. I love that he puts the time that he does into them. Yeah,
because I feel like the thumbnails especially, they're just so chaotic and goofy that automatically makes me want to like click on it and just see what the hell's going on this time with Chaiverson. Yeah, but overall, like my favorite part of like scrolling through your reels is just like looking at like the various thumbnails and looking at how like crazy and like detailed they are through your friend.
Yeah. He's pretty good with that.
Oh yeah. That's a pretty nice part about your thumbnails. Do you have any? Yeah. So, do you have any questions for me or?
What was the first video of mine that you watched?
Okay, the first video of yours I watched was the Folgers coffee one.
Oh,
it was like
my worst one.
Like the one you like first put out, because it's like. There was a time period where it's just like I never went to like lunch or like hung out with you guys that much due to like other stuff, like other restraints. So it's just like I wasn't really kept in the flow until like recent, like I would say like around like two-ish weeks ago when I found out that you were doing like the one sip reviews. I was just looking through them. Me personally, like I scrolled through like the videos first, like looking for the longer content.
Yeah, because that one was uploaded as a regular video because it was too long.
Yeah, so I looked at it and I saw the Folgers review. I don't think it was that bad as you were saying. Sure, it was like not as enthusiastic and hype as like the other like shorter.
Well, that's something I've gotten better at too as it's gone.
But like sure, it wasn't like that, but it was pretty much decent. But like looking at all your other videos, it's like you're improving and you're trying to like better yourselves in terms of making more jokes, making more quips while being like a little serious sometimes too. So yeah,
it just depends on how I'm feeling that day, to be honest. But yeah, also how are you doing personally?
Me personally, I'm just chilling right now because like I told you I'm like a microbiome student, so it's like the amount of classes I'm taking, like 18 credit hours, it's like I thought I would be busy, but it turns out that I have a decent amount of free time, like having 18 credit hours, but still like I have like a decent amount of tests, especially organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is just kind of like beating my butt right now. No, yeah. But after the organic chemistry test this Thursday, like I'm basically chilling for a while, just like gonna enjoy my spring break, not think about chemistry at all, just relaxing and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going off topic, like, have you watched any movies recently? Like any movies that you enjoyed?
Yes. I watched the first, like, Dune Part 1 that came out in 2022, 2021 or 2022.
No, yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah. I just rewatched that recently, and I didn't like it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it the second time. I'm really excited to see Dune Part 2.
No, yeah. So, funny thing is, with me watching Dune Part 1, it's like I've never read any of the books. I have no idea what Dune's about. Mm-hmm. My dad's interested in Dune, so it's like he enjoyed the movie. But I went to the movie theater. It was like around like 9-ish, 10 p.m. I watched it with my dad, and like I sort of half watched it because I was sleeping, and to be honest, like every time I woke up, I'm like, oh, what the heck's this giant worm doing here? What's going on?
Yeah.
The only thing I could like sort of be happy about, like the thing I mainly came for the movie for was seeing Dave Bautista, Oscar Isaac Poe, and Jason Momoa, and even Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. I would say like that's the main reason I went to the movie, but like I barely remember anything of the movie at the moment, and I was hoping during spring break I can probably just rewatch the first movie in order to prepare myself for the second movie.
You should, because I hear the second one is phenomenal. Even the first one, I mean, the second watch through, it was just like I instantly loved it for some reason. Like, even though I hated it the first time. I don't know. It's just a lot to keep up with, like, or a lot to keep track of.
No, yeah.
But yeah, like once you understand the lore, I think it's phenomenal. The visuals and the sound of the movie are fantastic.
Yeah, the visuals are like really nice. Yeah. From what I've heard, like me personally, I haven't watched Dune 2 right now, but like from what I've heard from like other friends, other critics, and other YouTubers per se, is like they say like Dune 2 is like really good, like honestly better than Dune 1. Whatever Dune 1 had like in its faults, they just corrected it, and it makes me excited to watch Dune 2.
Yeah.
That and the fucking popcorn bucket they have.
Yeah.
Yeah. The popcorn bucket seems pretty abnormal.
You gonna get the popcorn bucket?
Hell yeah, I'm getting the popcorn bucket.
Alright.
Yeah. Are you gonna get the popcorn bucket?
I don't think I'm gonna get the popcorn bucket. I know a lot of my YouTube commenters are getting that popcorn bucket though.
Ooh, that's pretty nice. I think you should do a one-sip review in the popcorn bucket. Just put
Should I?
Yeah.
Okay, if I get to 100 subscribers by the time I see Dune Part 2, I'll do a one-sip review out of the Dune popcorn bucket.
No, that would be so cool. Just put like some sort of like Coke or like some sort of slushy in there, just like
or you fill it with movie theater butter and you just slurp the butter out of the popcorn bucket.
Dude, that would be a pretty interesting idea. No, yeah.
You want a job?
I think I want a job, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah, but speaking of movies, you have to watch like the second time through. Like I do understand like movies get better like with their second or third times.
That is a proven phenomenon, actually. Yeah.
Have you ever watched Tenet before?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like Tenet, I went into it not understanding what the heck was going on, but then my second time watching through it, like looking, like realizing, oh, this is who blah 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 is. This is who blah 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 is. Those two random people, that's who blah 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 is. It's just like, I kind of understand the movie. Like I understand the hype of just watching like the movie like twice. Yeah, it just helps you understand, recollect more, and makes it more of a enjoyable experience for me, especially.
I'm personally of the opinion that you shouldn't have to watch a movie more than once to understand it. I think for Dune, I probably just wasn't paying enough attention the first time I saw it. But with Tenet, like the sound mixing is just straight up terrible. So you
Yeah.
literally can't understand what the actors are saying
Yeah.
if you're not watching with subtitles. And I hate watching with subtitles if I can avoid it. Like halfway through the movie, I turned them on because I was just so fed up. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Tenet. Maybe I should give it a second try. I've been meaning to give it a second try at some point. Love Christopher Nolan. I think like
really good.
He's a great director, but Tenet is just awful in my opinion.
I don't think it was awful. I wouldn't say it's like that good of a movie either, but like I vastly enjoyed it more the second time through. Speaking of movies, what's your favorite movie, Charles?
Interstellar, another Nolan movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just the visuals incredible.
Yeah.
I love sci-fi, especially when it like leans on the sci-fi or when it leans on the science side of sci-fi. Because there's like a sort of plausibility to it that like makes you really buy into it as like a story that is actually happening.
Yeah.
This is a part of the movie that is like really understated and I think undervalued. It's kind of scary, like that it takes place in a society that's like eerily similar to our current society, and yet the world is just terrible. Like that is like I love movies like that are like warning signs to us, like, hey, we got to do something about this issue.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it the whole point of the movie. Is why I love it. Like it's such like
it's like a moving plot point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the point of the movie is just like a father who wants to get back to his children, who's like thrust into saving the world. But I love the backdrop of just like the issue of climate change and how it's portrayed in the movie. Like one of my favorite scenes is actually like when it's still on Earth and when they wait, have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Yeah, it's when they go to the Yankees game.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the Yankees are no longer playing in Yankee Stadium in New York. That's the first sign that something is completely wrong. And then the fact that like a dust storm comes and interrupts the game, which like I don't think that ever happens in baseball. And then the third thing is like everyone just acts like it's a minor inconvenience because they're so used to it. Like I love that kind of thing. Like, and there's so many other aspects of the movie I could talk about on and on and on. That's just something that I think nobody ever talks about that needs recognition.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, honestly, Interstellar is one of my favorite movies, and I have a bunch of friends here, especially that are in, like, that sort of field. I have a friend that's an aerospace engineer, like, who's an aerospace engineer, and I have a friend that's, like, super into Interstellar, and it's, like, with them, I watch Interstellar like more than like once or twice, and they showed me key points and key details which like the first time I would have missed, but like you were saying, like it shows how screwed humanity is, and I kind of appreciate that because it's like a warning call to us to say, oh, if you continue this up, blah blah blah, we're like screwed eventually. But yeah, like Since you're a creative writing major and like an English major, do you go into a movie differently differently than a normal person per se, or?
Probably to a certain extent, yeah. I'm sure there's definitely things from like a writing and story perspective that I am more critical of. But then I also think the opposite effect sometimes happens where like there will be a movie that like everyone is just hating on, and I'm just thinking like, okay, yeah, but do you know how hard it is to write a movie like this?
No,
Like, so I think I empathize more with like movies that are considered to be bad and like the writers of those movies. Because, you know, I think it's got to be tough to have that job.
So do you have, like, an example of a movie like that, or?
Let's see. I'll just go with, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, because that's
Yeah.
the first thing that pops in my head. Like, yes, there are flaws in that movie, but considering that, like, the ending was apparently rewritten, like, months before the
Yeah.
release, I think they did what they could, and it's... I mean, it's not the greatest from a writing perspective, is the thing, but it's like, I have to empathize with them just because it's not an easy thing to do, to tie a perfect story together, and to get into the specifics of it, like, is not something that, like, I necessarily want to do right now, because I don't want to, like, rip into it or anything, and I also don't think it's that bad of a movie, I think, but yeah, I don't know.
No. Yeah.
I think, though, one thing that has changed for me in recent months as I've started to take cinematography is I will notice so many things with the cameras now, and it's almost kind of a curse. Because it's like sometimes it's the only thing I'll notice. Like, I was watching the newest Mission Impossible a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, the camera angles for that were crazy.
Yeah, I would have noticed that anyway, I'm sure, but it's like lens flares. Like, oh my god, there's so many lens flares. And it's like, I get it from a stylistic perspective, but it's like things like that are all I notice now. And I also notice this effect called bokeh a lot too.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Not exactly, but I've heard it before in cinematography terms.
Yeah, it's like, I guess this isn't exactly it, but the simplest way to explain it is like, when you see like a blurred background or a blurred part of an image that has lights, like bright lights.
Oh yeah.
And then the lights become like a circle when it's like blurry.
I don't know how to describe this. You've seen Oppenheimer, right?
Yes.
Was it like similar to the scene in Oppenheimer where like everyone was like clapping per se, or is that like something different? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think I know. I don't think that's what I can't remember that scene super vividly off the top of my head, but I don't think that's bokeh. No.
Oh, okay.
The first example that comes to mind is The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah.
I haven't even said the scene. I was gonna say the scene where like Gwen and Peter are like talking as like right before Electro's first attack. Never mind. It's used in a lot of romantic scenes in the background just because it's like kind of a cool effect. But anyway, I notice that so often now. And the thing is, you can tell the quality of the lens they're using by the bokeh. So it's like, it's really hard to ignore. It's like, now I know which shows I watch that use cheap lenses.
Yeah.
I don't want to fully explain it. I feel like I've already taken up enough time talking about it, but it's crazy.
No, yeah. Yeah, that does sound like a curse. It's like automatically going to a movie and like, oh, that camera over there. It's a bad quality camera or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is honestly a really cool thing to like know, but at the same time, yeah, it could be a curse, like the way you described it. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of my favorite movie, it's like, it's nothing like that insane. It's not like Interstellar level. It's just, I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called Rio.
Rio, yeah, with the birds.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. It's like my favorite childhood movie per se. I love it. Just the characters and just
that's
like
a good one.
the theme of the movie is just one of my favorites.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember really liking that one as a kid.
No, yeah, it was like my number one childhood movie. Like we had a car that had like a TV in it, like.
Yeah, a what? Oh,
like the foldable TV.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I had one of those too.
And like I would vividly recall that whenever my parents would be driving like a trip or something, I would just put Rio on and I'll just watch it like 3-4 times during the entire trip.
Wow.
Due to how good the movie was, and overall I liked it. I don't think it was that deep, but it was relatively a cool movie and talked about deforestation, which is a big issue.
Yeah, I like when sort of like family with like younger kids
No, yeah.
oriented films can like get into bigger issues like that.
No, yeah. That's a good part about today's like media. Like more and more shows, more and more movies that are directed towards kids are also being directed towards adults, because it's like talks about the greater issues, greater controversies that are happening in today's society, and it's like making it known at an earlier age, so like the future generations could help deal with those issues or help solve it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a very important thing to integrate important themes that are relevant to today's world into media for all ages.
No,
but in a way that's age appropriate, of course.
No, yeah. I don't know if you've ever watched Bluey before.
I haven't.
I have a younger sister, and she loves Bluey. It's like one of her favorite shows. Though she's like 14, like she likes the show, and like I watch it with her sometimes, and I just like sometimes like tune in, and it just talks about like real world issues. It talks about like important stuff that's going on. Like, I remember one episode was talking about miscarriages, and it was like, it hinted at miscarriages, wasn't talking directly about it.
That's crazy.
And it was talking about like coping with it, and I was like, ooh, like, this is a good show. This is an interesting show, as opposed to like what the hell is going on like YouTube with like Skippy Toilet, just like brain rotting children. But,
I think there's a place for like mindless entertainment.
No,
too.
Yeah, I feel like there should be a healthy combination of just doom scrolling like TikTok and Instagram, and just like watching like good shows like Bluey, or like other shows that like emphasize important issues in this current day environment. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
sometimes I think the goal for entertainment should always be, of course, to entertain. But sometimes you're looking to be entertained with themes, and sometimes you're looking to be entertained just through comedy or action or whatever.
No, yeah, which it depends on the person, but I would say the best combination of both worlds is anything with like comedy, action, while like invoking a certain theme or a certain message towards a certain audience that needs to be heard.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's plenty of movies that do a good job of that. Like, have you seen Jojo Rabbit?
I watched part of Jojo's Rabbit. But
that's a great example of somehow perfectly blending comedy and like really, really dark material that's like it's heavy stuff. Yeah,
Taika Waititi did a really good job on JoJo's Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The comedy aspect of it was pretty hilarious, but at the same time, like the big issues, like overarching issues, like with Nazis and stuff like that, like I can see where they're coming from. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well.
Wait. Sorry, I just want to clarify. You don't mean you can see where the Nazis are coming
from? No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No. I didn't mean I could see where the Nazis are coming.
Oh yeah, just wanted to make sure, because I don't know. I don't know how many people are gonna watch this, but I felt like that was coming in the comments section if I didn't address it.
No, my bad. I didn't mean.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. No, I mean I could see like where the messages are coming from.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know that's like what you meant. I know that's what you meant.
Not like not
I know.
Guys, I swear I don't support Nazis.
Okay.
What do you mean? But Charles, it was nice having you on the podcast, dude.
Yeah, it was really good to do this. This was a good conversation.
Yeah, this is my first time, and it was like I was just hoping to get someone like special and like someone I know dearly on board.
Yeah, and who also happens to be the most famous guest you could possibly dream of.
No, 100%. Yeah. You're easily the most famous guest as of the moment.
Well, as of the moment.
Yeah, as of the moment. But thank you so much for being on the podcast, Charles. I greatly appreciate it, and